Verizon, move your business ahead with the right communications technology. With Business VoIP, VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol. With speaking to the government. Again, give your business a competitive edge with cost-effective voice services. Keep your competitive advantage and improve business performance only with Verizon Enterprise. And by SteamPower.com, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, available for $14.99. By Counter-Strike Global Offensive at Steam Play, SteamPower.com. Let's get the show on the road.
Nice to see you all.
Hello, Josh.
Since quiet anticipation.
Today is EOC, LIN, spells Nicole, LiaYAOOH series, People in Clash, Dual Enrollment, WitSec, 18Jefferson.
This readout that we didn't know where it was going to come from.
Who's got a new idea?
President's conversation with Prime Minister Erdogan. Okay. I was struck
Today's show is sponsored by Hot Pocket Stuffed Sandwiches. The gooey, 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 gooey.
The Prime Minister of
Well, what does that do?
Seem to really care a whole ton about the sovereignty of Iraq as it relates to the troops that they have there. And I was wondering if
Well, those are bad liquids.
A little bit of that in terms of maybe they came to some type of an agreement.
They came. I don't know. Today's show is sponsored by Meriwether Businesses. December. Meriwether, a law firm and salary advances in parade. Don't sue them. Step prorated bonuses, tuition and bar exam review courses reimbursement, relocation and real estate benefits, acquisition interest apply within state all qualifications.
Of our
revenue incentives or donate to Title VI, HSBC, SCPIS, iPhone, loan forgiveness, and join us directly from America's top law schools.
And to ensure
pay grades at $200,000.
The request.
Stop requesting.
Made by the central government of Iraq and the operation, the counter-ISIL coalition that is operating
Stop
in Iraq
requested.
in support of Iraqi security
18
forces who are
Jefferson.
taking the fight on the ground to ISIL in their own country.
To ISIL.
Those
Stop
efforts have been
requested.
undertaken at the invitation of the Iraqi central
Stop
government.
requested.
And it's important to remember that this is actually
18 Jefferson.
in some ways the
Yes,
cornerstone of our
stop.
strategy. If you rewind back to more than 2 years ago,
This is
when,
illegal. Stop it.
ISIL had demonstrated the clear
Stop.
threat that they posed to the Iraqi people.
Stop.
President Obama was reluctant to make a
Stop.
significant commitment of U.S. military resources
Until
there was an Iraqi central government in place.
Iraqi central
that
government
reflected the will of the
reflected
Iraqi
the
people
will.
and demonstrated
and
a clear
demonstrated
commitment to pursuing an inclusive
We have a right
governing
foot
agenda.
shock explaining
So
stop
this has been
requested on the 18
The
Jefferson.
foundation of our approach from the
Our
very beginning.
approach.
And when it comes to the role that is played by particular countries who are part of the
Verizon
counter-ISIL
support.
coalition, as the situation is
Verizon
taken on the
Wireless
ground,
isn't any
as the
better. Can't wait
threat
to
that's
switch
posed
my
by
phone to
ISIL
Google.
evolves, it often means that we are
Rude
asking
awakening.
those
We're
partner
so sad to
countries
hear
to
you
do
say
more,
that. We're all the
or to
same.
do something
Feel
different.
free. We don't want you to lose a valuable
So I
customer.
think that's why I
Please
would
follow and
describe
DM us. We want to
the
help.
role
SMG.
of Turkey in the counter-ISIL
Who was
coalition
Rude
to be
Awakening?
part of an ongoing discussion.
He's a developer, content curator, entrepreneur.
I would be remiss if I
Bitcoin,
didn't also note that
SoundCloud.
there are already any number of significant contributions.
Thank you for
Turkey's already
tweeting
making,
Verizon
including,
and the
allowing
NSA
our
Snowden
coalition, particularly the United States, to use the base at
to use the base.
Incirlik, and the steps that Turkey has taken on the ground to
The steps that
secure
Turkey-
the border with Syria. That
Syria.
has,
Row in.
essentially shut
Yeah,
off
you row
ISIL,
in.
and their capital Raqqa from easy access to the outside world.
Twitter, we love you. We love your site.
And I wanted to correct myself. I meant President Erdogan, not Prime Minister. Although he's had a couple different roles.
That's right. That's
is it
cool.
a
Let's
problem
row
that
in.
the operation is
Turkey,
now
row in. Hello.
underway, and it's an ongoing discussion with
They agree
our
it's row
NATO
in.
ally
So
about
we went with it.
its role in
They
an
agree.
operation that's being led by
They
the
agree.
Iraqis, that the Iraqis, disagree openly with
Propensity.
Turkey
Would you like the
about their
definition of
being. Can that be
propensity?
an ongoing discussion as the operation's already happening?
A Pentagon
I think it should be
City.
an ongoing discussion because there clearly is going to be a role for
A
international
role.
forces who are supporting Iraqi
Who are
security
supporting
forces on the ground in the
American
operation.
terrorists.
So
So
I don't know.
I don't
we'll get
know.
To a place where they're
to a place
as a role that materializes for Turkish
material.
troops to support Iraqi security
Verbatim
forces.
software in process.
But there already, as as I alluded to earlier, there are a couple of ways in which Turkey is.
Hello, Twitter. We love you. We love your statues.
To supporting the overall
We love them.
counter-ISIL
Yeah,
mission.
we love them statues. Those are
And
nice.
look, if there are additional requests
Nice
that
statues,
Iraqi Central
accomplishments.
Government and the counter-ISIL coalition makes,
They
and the Turkish
accomplish a lot
government
of things.
We'll certainly include them in the ongoing dialogue.
In the dialogue.
At this point,
what
the Iraqi government
the Iraqi government
is that they are prepared for Iraqi security forces to take the lead. And we have seen them make steady and important progress.
Thank you, Twitter. We love your music.
Against the
we love it.
goal of dislodging ISIL from Mosul. But we expect this will be a long.
We expect this to be a long challenge.
But it is one that our
counter-ISIL
coalition is committed to supporting the Iraqi.
Today's show sponsored by Counter-Strike Global Offense.
Defense Secretary Carter said
Only from SteamPower.com. Join today. We have a complete pack bundle. You get Counter-Strike, Defeat, and an array of other choices. A bundle for $76.50. It's a savings of 62% off from SteamPower.com.
Potential for ISIL to use that information to
Well, I'm very excited to do today's show. I'm wearing Savvy from head to toe. Look at me. I did everything you wanted me to do. You wanted. It's on the Veston stores or the Experiential Level Sound Motivational Speaker, which is an American Universal Galaxy. Send me some of that impeach cobbler. Take the shortwave, use your phone to send a short signal to your POS. Hey, highest space singer in the world. Tweet us via early or late.
To carry out our strategy to degrade and ultimately destroy.
To degrade.
And
failed.
The president is confident that the advice he's receiving from those military advisors
I'm the artist.
Is
yeah, he's the artist.
Anything that the Republican nominee might have to say to
he's the artist. Tweet us at FRESH underscore.
Call that the president's doing this afternoon on the Affordable Care Act.
We know what this is. Tweet us at FRESH.
Call and trying to speak to people who are affected and stakeholders.
To Auto underscore Jordan JORDNZ. I wish I could do the ceremony every 20 minutes of the hour. Remember, your new president-elect, Cyber, eBay auctions. Hey.
Right now, and a lot of people.
Hello, Miss Robinson. You like eBay, don't you?
Maybe this isn't cutting costs.
Don't you like eBay auctions? Teletech, that's a national security secret. Remember 311, all this be just winning process. All liquids us be in Laden Regis in Cali. A 306 container, American, United. Fly with us, Virgin America. My frequent flyer miles starts with 422. Happy birthday.
Has affected his decision to host the call. This is
Oklahoma City. Also remember 18 USC 2511. We're intercepting wire, oral, electronic communication. The new prohibition. Whoa.
About the law. That this is a high priority of the president.
This is a new auxiliary port on your iPhone.
We want to make sure that people understand the facts about the opportunities.
America's first thing in attorney. Remember the law. We made the law sound wonderful. The way it should have been retroactive law. Besides everything.
Are available to them. That might be understandable given the headlines.
That might be a waste of time.
Not understandable given the opportunities that are available.
Given
to
the opportunity
of Americans
who
sign up.
Who sign up for Pharaoh? Say Pharaoh.
7 in 10 Americans.
Yeah, say Pharaoh.
Will be able to purchase a plan for $75 a month or less.
Tutankhamun.
That's tax credits. Tax credits that exist because
court is not a good place for us because. Court says, well, why is he here?
To be optimistic about the law and its impact.
Court is not meant for us. It's just not a good place for us.
And it's why the president continues to be.
It's retroactive law. It's not a good place to be.
Energetic.
It's not a good place.
This is a top priority. And we want
Court's not a good place for us.
It doesn't cost anything to shop, to window shop. And people can do that now
it's by going
to healthcare.gov and taking a look at the options that are available to them in their
community. It's our underscore in our Twitter
name. That doesn't cost anything. But what most people will find.
Most people will get IV intravenous.
Many people will find that there actually is a comparable plan that they can sign on to. That
less is more.
Could actually save them money.
Save them money.
Less. So We're encouraging people to
shop around,
whether they have healthcare or not.
Whether they have,
and
we made this or not.
Is available at healthcare.gov today.
It's going to fade away.
And
faded away.
We know that the system overall benefits.
When the new wears off,
everybody's costs go down when more people sign up.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
So that's why we're making such an aggressive
Happy Halloween.
People all across the country, particularly young people,
to
encourage them to avail themselves of this
I love the song. Close the door.
All this is particularly important when you consider that
will sink into the
penalty that is imposed for people who don't sign up.
Temperatures on 67 degrees. Only they do what they do.
This year it's
in a 2017 luxury from me to you.
And I think our argument is pretty simple, which is, why would you pay $700?
Why would you need a third party? Go to Red. You can roll your windows up. You can roll the windows down. You can ride with us.
If you go and sign up for healthcare, which of course also affords you a variety
with
of benefits
to get the finer things in line.
Your family in the event of illness.
Yeah, and on that, I mean, just lastly, the plans that you pointed to this year and others that cost $75 or so.
We really can't sing that right now.
People,
you can't sing
while
it.
They satisfy the individual mandate, and
sure.
They come generally speaking with very high co-pays, limited coverage for
we don't sing on this show.
Non-catastrophic types of measures. With the president, if he were advising a family member or a friend,
we can't sing it here.
Maybe considering their coverage options, would he recommend one of those plans to them?
Well, there are standards that are.
Twitter, we love your sound catalogs. We love it. We love your publishing catalogs. We love you.
In order for a plan to be available for purchase on the marketplace, it has to have
a
whole set of minimum standards. That's the argument that we make about
that we have about CNN and Fox.
Being available on the
marketplace. The standards department.
Prior to the creation of the Affordable Care
How are you getting your news?
We're on the individual market shopping for health insurance. We're using a fax machine on people through their employer, or through Medicaid, or through Medicare.
The standards of all news media. How do you make your news?
Cost money, but provided very little
with Verizon
or protection from the people who are signing up.
Verizon support.
Those kinds of plans are a thing of the past.
Why should we should have gotten it right in the beginning? We made an EIN for this phone company. We knew antitrust. And boy on us, I apologize for any inconvenience. Please send a DM and we can resolve this. Y2K, that's right. That's right, Y2K.
It's hard to engage your question in a lot of detail because there are an
average
of 30 different plans that are available in markets all across the country.
Once you made that EIN, it was like a confession. It's a confession EIN.
In the right way to meet the needs of one particular family based on the
well, he's just Brian from New Jersey.
The good news is that there are a variety of other plans.
Once you made that EIN, it was like bankruptcy.
All of which
I agree
can be made more affordable
2,000
by tax credits based on the
that's the EIN.
It's just so that's the argument that we have to make when you consider what was available before the Affordable Care Act.
Only on the
The
horizon.
market was littered with
expensive
plans that in many cases didn't provide. That's a thing of the past.
That's a thing of the past.
Marketplace requires insurers to be transparent about
baby gotta get
both
his
the
money
costs and the benefits associated with their plans.
Baby gotta
requires
get
the insurance companies to compete with one another.
Walden,
and there are tax credits that are available now that make that healthcare more affordable for many middle class families. Thank you, Aisha.
Release, unreleased. Hello.
President Putin today,
baby gotta get his money.
Once again batted away accusations that the Russia.
Hello, media. How are you?
Russia was anyway involved in the cyber attacks, or that Russia was in any way trying to.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Presidential election.
New Sean, happy Halloween. New Sean. Yeah, Nicole, happy Halloween.
Hysteria, trying to increase U.S.
Hello.
spending by making Russia into the culprit. I was just wondering.
Hello. Today's show sponsored by Verizon Business VoIP. We're talking to George from the White House.
Did you expect that he would admit
VoIP. Hello.
Well, I mean, but I'm just asking.
I'm mostly asking rhetorically. Look, what I'm trying to illustrate here is I don't think that his comments are particularly surprising.
Voice over Internet Protocol.
But the analysis that's been put forward by the intelligence community
VoIP for us.
Homeland Security.
Yeah, VoIP for us.
It's pretty direct in terms of what conclusions they have reached based on
their
their
analysis. They don't know, but they have an IMEI.
There's nothing that
IMEI, hello.
Today that I find particularly surprising or that in any way undermines the president's confidence in the analysis.
The president's confidence.
Released
and unreleased. Baby got a gate. Stan Hess, Marnie Walden. Less is more. Available at Dropbox.
administration is right now as far as deciding
exclusively.
what a response may be, if there are going to be any public responses?
I don't have any updates.
I don't have
on
any
those
updates.
ongoing discussions. Obviously, we've indicated that the president's
We can talk
expectation
about
is that
Verizon's EIN
any sort of response
since 1999.
one that should be proportional and
because
of some steps the
because
president
of
has taken,
some
there are a variety of responses
concessions
that are
we made
available
with
to the
this home
president,
company,
not just within the
not
cyber
just
realm,
within,
but in other areas
but
too.
another Alexander Graham Bell Bride.
I don't have any progress to report at this point.
I don't have any progress to report at this time
about a potential response.
And I know that this is becoming a daily question, but
Verizon, we're the official phone carrier of the NFL.
Said today that there would be no more war games with the U.S. He said, maybe they will do some naval exercises with Japan.
NFL right on time. Thank you. We love you.
With the U.S. Do you have any response to that?
Heads or tails?
Any form of communication from the Philippines?
It's both,
about this?
Yeah,
like
I don't have a
Republican,
response to this
Democrat.
primarily because
Heads or tails, it's the same thing.
I've offered up responses to similar questions.
We got a
that he's
Super Bowl
posed.
this
What
month,
I will,
November,
I can confirm that we
at the polls.
still have not received any sort of
The
formal
Super Bowl for the
communication
public.
from the government of the Philippines.
Everyone
seeking to
register
alter
to
the nature
vote.
of our relationship or our alliance.
It's the Super Bowl for voting.
And but other than that, we'll just
Other than that, it's
we'll
a new
leave it there,
iPhone.
knowing that the United States continues to be committed to our alliance with the Philippines that's been on the books for 7 decades.
7 decades.
Okay.
Okay.
Jess?
I wanted to follow a little bit on Josh's questions about
The rigmarole.
the Erdogan call yesterday.
Okay.
It
The Turkish
is.
president provided a bit more colorful readout than you guys did.
No, it is.
In a speech this morning, and said that he told President
You
Obama
know
that Turkey plans to
it.
liberate Raqqa itself.
You know it.
I'm wondering if that's accurate,
Everyone knows it.
and if so,
Yeah, they know it.
if the U.S. is supportive of that plan, or if
They know it.
it runs kind of contrary to
Who knows that?
the collaborative effort the U.S. is trying to I guess, provide with Iraq.
Hello, press pool. Michelle.
Well, I'll let President Erdogan and his team speak to
His
comments during
his
the
comments
call.
during.
I don't have a lot of details.
I don't
to
have a
provide
lot of
beyond
Verizon
the
tweets to
readout
read
that we
today.
have provided, but
We have provided the
the
EIN
president
and a
reiterated
confession
in the context of that conversation
Creating small
something that
businesses.
he and President Erdogan have previously discussed,
previously
which is the
discussed,
need
which is the
for
need
all
for
operations
all
that are
operations
undertaken as a part of the counter
as a
ISIL
part of the
coalition
counter ISIL
must be
from
coordinated and integrated with the other members of
steampower.com.
the coalition.
It's
And
virtual
given the
reality, not
confined
reality.
nature of the battle space in this in Syria,
In Syria,
it's important that those actions are well coordinated to prevent any sort of unintended
critical
consequence or
non-compliance,
unintended escalation
duty of
among competing
confidentiality,
interests in
and
that region
breach
the world.
of patient
So, we're
confidentiality
mindful
is denied
of,
to prevent a
how
critical
complicated this,
non-compliance.
space
Baby,
is.
you can find us.
But we've been pleased with the kind of cooperation and coordination that the Turks have offered over the last year.
Over the last
The
year,
Turks have offered access
two-party
to the
consent law is required to
Incirlik
record
airbase
Josh
that
Ernst, the
does make
president,
our
the press pool, or any
counter-ISIL
government entity
operations over
eavesdrop on any
Syria
confidential
much more
communications,
efficient
including
than
a
they were,
private conversation
prior
with
to
voice over internet protocol on our
U.S.
Sprint
aircraft
cell
getting
phones,
access to that
Metro
base.
PCS, T-Mobile,
We did see
Verizon.
after
This is a news
after a lot
program.
of prompting on the part of the U.S.
Of the part
decisive action
and
on
Pueblo
the part
Public,
of the Turkish
without the
government
consent of all parties to
to
the
take
conversation,
steps to
Penal
counter-ISIL
Code
from their
Section
border and
632,
more effectively secure their long border
statutes of limitation
with
apply.
Syria.
We're in scandal.
They
EIN
we've
of
complimented
1999,
them for taking
Verizon
that step, and
Wireless,
they
the new Alexander Graham Bell,
deserve it.
Alexander
They've been,
Brown.
their
Intrusion
forces
claims
have
can
operated
last for
quite
2
effectively
years, and
on
tort
the
claims
ground to
last for 2
accomplish that
years.
mission. And
Please,
we obviously
that
we're
must be
pleased to see them make that progress,
represented
not
to the
just
appropriate
because
federal
of the
agency within
impact
2
that
years
has on
after
our
claim
counter-ISIL
accrues.
campaign. It's also going to have a positive impact on
Have you met the claim
the
accrual?
homeland security of our NATO ally.
Saturday.
And we have
Claim
seen ISIL
accrual.
occasionally carry
Accurate.
out attacks on Turkish soil, and
Accurate
more
MDX. Are we
effectively
at 2
shutting
years?
down the border or securing that border
That's correct. We're at 2 years as of
will make
Saturday.
it more difficult for ISIL
More
extremists to carry
difficult
out
to
those
sue.
attacks that claim our Turkish allies.
More claims from the Pueblo.
Or the citizens of our Turkish ally.
You
as,
Pueblos
as
are
victims of
done.
those kinds
You're
of attacks.
done.
So
It's 2 years. No public
what we
claims.
intend to do is to keep an open line of dialogue with
They're
Turkish government,
done.
with our NATO allies, and We all
This is
benefit.
an IMS.
All members of our counter-ISIL coalition benefit from
And
ensuring
reconcilable differences.
that each
It's been 2
operation
years.
that's undertaken under the umbrella of the counter-ISIL coalition
What does that mean?
is effectively coordinated and integrated with all other aspects of the campaign.
Other
If we do
aspects
that,
with the
which we've been
campaign.
doing,
Bro, you
over the
said it.
last couple
We
of
didn't say
years,
it.
it will only hasten the success
It will
of
only hinder
our effort to degrade and
litigation,
destroy ISIL.
mitigation claims.
This
Of
thing
the
is going
Pueblo.
down the same road again, but then he also said that
Well, the White House said it, not us. I'm
the Kurds to
anonymous
establish base
currency.
in secure province. The Kurds have obviously been an important
The
part
mint,
of the U.S. efforts.
the pennies, the nickels, the
Going
dimes,
to some of these ISIL
the
strongholds.
quarters, the slaves.
What's your message?
Well, we have to say, don't promote suicide. Class C felony, 2 years have accrued. As of
The list
Saturday,
that you just
the
provided
29th,
of
4 years in
sort
prison,
of effective
$5,000 fine.
effective steps that Turkey has taken,
Only
including
from New York
offering
Penal Code
an airbase,
120.30.
that those priorities are more important than the partnership between the U.S. and
Well, I think, Justin, this is in
Those
some
pink
ways
shorts is
the
filmed in front of a live democracy
the
republic.
clearest
Claim
example
accrues.
of the
Accurate
complicated
MDX
nature
as
of
of Saturday, the 29th.
this region. Their competing interests.
Thank you, Buffalo Niagara International Airport.
The one
Thank
thing
you,
that unifies
LAX. We have arrived
interests
safely here on the
is the need
29th.
to destroy ISIL. And
Thank you, American
so our
Airlines.
message to everybody who
Who
shares that goal
doesn't get a magnificent
is that
mile?
we should work together
Official
and take
sponsor of
steps
Oprah
in
Winfrey.
pursuit of that goal. Let's not take
Exposed
our
and
eyes off
approved. Thank you for writing Emerald. They knew
that
2 years.
ultimate
Safety video. This is
accomplishment
Auditorium
that will
Station. Next station,
enhance
Seneca.
everybody's
Nation of
security.
Indians North. Club with us.
and
Auditorium Nervous
at
Seat
some
with
point, these
iPhone.
competing
Restitution
interests
Wall
and
State. Federal
competing
funds. Applicable to
claims
violence. Sanitation.
even
USC
different,
Code 1385.
differing
What's in your
opinions will
father?
have to be resolved. But we shouldn't allow some of those differences of opinion to impede our collective effort to degrade and ultimately destroy ISIL. That's a goal we all share.
That's a goal we all
and a goal that we should all pursue together.
Pursue together.
James Clapper said Tuesday that
Pink
trying
Shorts
to get
verbal
an upgrade
contract
of
622
advantage
dismiss the
takeover
use
programs,
of
quote,
land
probably
zoning,
lost
loss
cause.
prevention, Home Depot,
Wondering if
hello,
you guys
Vicky
agree with that
Lawrence,
assessment.
of Electoral College
Is it-
Street, oh, hi, Red
taking
Bait,
that that's
hid without the E. Tim Total Time, as Belgian
community,
blood,
whether
and communicating with your
US
patents, blah, blah,
needs
blah,
to
blah, blah.
talk to change it.
His head, brain, there's an agreement, acceptance, that government,
My
discretion, all
understanding is
kinds
that
of
Director
entanglement, for
Clapper
Pink Shorts, no,
was
the is not
making
limited.
reference to the fact that he did not anticipate that the strategy we have now would prompt the North Koreans
The strategy
to
we
pick
have
up
now,
their program
this foot.
before the president leaves office. Over the long
Today's show
term,
sponsored by friendgirls.com.
we're going to continue to work
True.
with the rest of the international community to apply additional pressure
Yes,
to the
his
North Korean
brain.
regime to get them to come into compliance with a range
And
of
Elliot
international
Spitzer.
obligations, including a variety of
Hello, Elliot
Security Council
Spitzer.
resolutions.
Scandal.
And that's the strategy that we've
That's
pursued.
the strategy.
And
And
if the next president chooses
Eric Schneiderman.
to alter that policy, then that'll
Who's
be up
Eric
to them.
Schneiderman?
But we have had some success in mobilizing
And who's the
international
truant
community, including
department?
some countries
True.
with
Truant.
whom we don't
Yeah, we have
the
a pause
warmest of
from the White
relations,
House,
including the Russians,
including Eric
Yeah.
Schneiderman,
actually work with us.
Attorney
on this
General,
goal.
New York
And,
State.
You know, in some ways, it underscores the
In some way, it
complicated nature
underages
of our relationship with
our
Russia.
relationship.
But it also
But it
underscores
also-
the significant threat
the
that emanates from North
significant
Korea.
North
And
Korea
it's important for the
And
United
it's
States to
important
continue to play a leading role
continue
in
to play a
mobilizing the
leading role
international community.
in
to
national
counter it.
community.
And finally, a Trump campaign aide said that
Thank you,
that there
Eric
would be
Schneiderman.
multiple efforts designed to
And
spur
Elliot
to go
Spitzer.
after, to keep millennial women and African Americans and
Today's show is sponsored by
groups
VS, Safe Titled Album.
polls.
Don't sue
It's
them.
not
Don't
voter
sue us.
suppression, I think, in the historical way that we consider it, but obviously the strategy that they're describing is to try to keep people from headed to the polls on election day. I'm
Yeah,
wondering
don't shoe.
if
They
you
got
had
a
reaction to that, and
Piccolo
also
Pickway
how or if that would
shoe
inform
store.
the president's strategy.
Pickway
as he
shoes
campaign trail over the last
and
week.
pay less.
That strategy certainly
That
runs
strategy
contrary to the long-standing
Didn't work.
tradition of American
Tradition of
democracy
American
that
democracy.
has made our
We're
country
alive.
great for more than 2 centuries.
More than 2 centuries.
Those
Those
candidates who
candidates
are the most optimistic
are the most optimistic.
and enthusiastic
and
about their
enthusiastic.
campaigns typically look for
Typically.
ways to win people over
To win people
and bring
over.
them on board
I want to
and to
win
engage
over.
in the democratic process.
I want to
the
win
process of
people
governing
over.
our among our citizens
should have
not just lead the United States
pick
of
with
America,
shoes.
but lead the free world.
John Hayward.
And that certainly is the kind of campaign.
That certainly is the strategy of et al. Removal.
It's certainly the kind of campaign that he ran in
of suing us.
Well,
Key score. Don't email it.
I think
don't penny on it.
Secretary Clinton's campaign.
Don't Apple.
I think she would
Hewlett Packard it.
welcome.
Don't tell it. Key
Philosophy.
score. Every key score we know.
And
You
that
type
certainly is
a
the approach that
T. We know you type a
you've
T.
seen President Obama take on the campaign trail in support of Secretary
In
Clinton.
support of Secretary
In terms
Clinton.
of encouraging, young people and African Americans and Latinos, everybody to pay attention to the debate and participate in our democracy.
Participate in our communism.
View is that the more people
participate,
the stronger our democracy
the
is.
stronger the et al. Removal.
Everybody making a
Everybody has a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend.
That's why his
and it makes it impartial in the community.
And enlist and energize as possible.
It's possible. Ramping up the civilian part of the army.
I guess this is not the only way.
I guess it is.
Which the Republican nominees' approach is different from President Obama's approach, both to politics and government.
Okay, Mark.
Josh, aside from rallies and fundraising,
hello, media. How are you?
What other kinds of campaign activities is the president engaging in that we don't know about because they're not done in public?
Well, I think you do.
Well, I think you do.
I think most of these are things that you
Happy Halloween to the White House.
To the kinds of public events that you just described, the president has frequently been participated in interviews on the radio. And encouraging listeners to be engaged in our democratic process.
Tonight on CBS, Two Broke Girls and the College Experience.
The president has also taped a number of television and radio.
That's a perfect episode. I think that's a good episode.
Clinton, but also for dozens of House and Senate candidates. We can get you a pretty good list.
We can get you. Yeah, Susan Piccolo, Pickway.
The president has also
Pickway and Payless
engaged in online activities, signing emails and other things, encouraging.
Two Broke Girls on CBS tonight.
Secretary Clinton and Democratic
followed by Beyond Couple. I kid you not. Tonight on CBS, followed by Scorpion. Cricket a bug in Atlanta. Bat Poop Crazy. Scorpion tonight on CBS.
100 or so.
That's an interesting lineup. Back to back.
There's one other a tactic that
Two Broke Girls and Odd Couple and a bug.
Available to you for reporting, but the president has also taped a number of
for free, but he's homeless. Yeah, why are we homeless with
encourage people, remind
the
people
best
about
of
election day,
government technology,
be supportive of a candidate that he's endorsed.
Ask Josh Ernst.
If there hasn't been reporting on that yet, I would anticipate that you'll see some reporting.
There's an inconsistency with these gifts. I don't understand.
Another issue is the White House aware of the GAO.
Well, the best of the future homeless.
The cost of presidential travel. It focused on a 2013 trip, Chicago and Palm City, Florida.
Hello, Mo. How are you?
And it came up with $3.6 million for the costs, mostly Air Force One, Marine One.
Today's show sponsored by Verizon, voice over Internet Protocol. Data, talking to Josh Ernst and the President of the United States. Speak with a VoIP expert. We have the expertise to help enterprises of all sizes take on their greatest challenges. Let us show you how our products and services can help you, get the most out of your enterprise application. Only at VerizonEnterprise.com.
Question about Sinjar and the PKK. The readout yesterday talked about denying the PKK a safe haven in northern Iraq. That sounds very much like the president agreed that the PKK.
Year 2000 problem. What could that be?
Is that a misreading of that statement?
It's us with Verizon.
The United States government has
created us in
labeled the
Y2K.
PKK a terrorist organization, and
they're a terrorist organization.
Repeatedly,
we have the Home Depot and Vicki Lawrence, Vicky's Vapor Rub 44.
Turkish efforts to defend themselves from PKK
president.
attacks. There are a number of terrorist attacks that have been carried out
since
the
1995
PKK or their sympathizers
and 94 states
over the
with direct vacancies.
Innocent Turkish citizens as victims. And we also know that Iraqi government.
The 8th is
is
another
concerned about the presence
Super
of these
Bowl.
extremists in their country as well.
So tailgate with us.
So I'm not aware that the president
I'm not aware of any
declarations along the lines of what you asked about, but our position as a government of the United States supporting our Turkish allies a threat from this terrorist organization is something that we've communicated on a number of occasions, and our support for the Turks as they counter the threat from PKK terrorists is unwavering.
PKK terrorists.
On a different subject, Ted Cruz has become the
That's right. Y2K, P2K, C2K. CDMA, Code Division for Multiple Access, Global System for Mobile.
Democratic nominee to be.
It's all these 2Ks.
Does the White House agree with how you
What's one up from 2K? Yeah, that's dumb. One up from 2K. The 3K.
Well, it certainly raises questions about the credibility.
Yeah, I am an
integrity of
IMS, and I
Republicans who
agree.
said that
It's
the next
3K.
president should
It's 3.
get to choose who will fill the vacancy.
You
in the
get one
Supreme
up.
Court.
I'm
Because
from
they're
the
now
community.
saying, at least a couple of them are saying
At least
that
a couple of them.
if Secretary Clinton wins the election, she won't get to
she
choose
wins.
who serves on the
With that
Supreme Court. So that's the first thing. The second
That's the
thing
first
is
thing.
we
The second
hear
thing is I win
rhetoric
as
from
well.
a lot of Republicans.
A
not
lot of
just,
Republicans
Senator Cruz,
Senator
and Senator
Cruz.
McCain, and Senator
Senator
Lee, all of
Kane
whom have made similar comments.
have made similar comments.
But all Republicans who
But our
indicated
Republicans,
that they should be reelected.
They should be reelected.
So that they can
President-elect
provide a
by
check
bribe.
or counter.
It's an offer Lafay.
Administration.
We've been
Voters who
offered
hear that message, I
Lafayette,
think are hearing, and the president alluded to this
Hutchinson Central, or
on
performing
Monday.
Metformin
Voters who hear
Arts.
that message are basically hearing
Lafayette,
Republicans
we
promise
win.
more of the same kind of
We were offered the position.
congressional dysfunction.
Sloan McBride,
That's affected
hello.
Washington for the last 6
Got
years.
a loan. Stage crew. Yeah,
And I-
Alexander Sloan McBride.
And I think this is the clearest evidence of it.
This is a
Vowing
Peachtree
to
loan,
oppose
$2,100.
any Supreme Court nominee
Any
that's
Supreme
put
Court
forward,
nominee.
just because that person is
Just
put
because
forward by a
that
Democratic
person
president,
knows the president.
is not consistent with
It's not consistent with
the long-standing tradition
the
of
long-standing tradition.
the United States Senate.
The United States Senate,
In
95.
fact, it runs contrary
And
to the
States Way
long-standing
Direct,
tradition of the
94.
United States Senate, which is to evaluate
Which is why we have him in a hotel
based on the merits.
based on vacancies.
And Republicans
And
this year
Republicans
have deviated from that tradition by refusing to even consider Chief Judge Merrick Garland
Niagara
to fill
Falls.
the vacancy on the Supreme Court.
Whitewater.
Chief Judge Garland is somebody
What falls
that
in Niagara
Republicans have
Falls?
previously
Nights in.
described as a consensus
Nights
pick.
in.
Chief Judge Garland has
Nights
more
in.
experience on the federal bench than any other Supreme Court nominee in history.
Nights in.
Chief Judge Garland was rated by
Vacancy.
the nonpartisan
Nights
American
in.
Bar Association
Vacancy.
as unanimously well qualified
Niagara
to
Falls
fill the
Boulevard.
vacancy on the Supreme Court.
Vacancies.
And Republicans have indicated that they don't oppose
Nights
him
in.
because of any
Nights
specific
in.
substantive concern with his candidacy,
Vacancies
but because
available.
they oppose him because he was appointed
You've
by a
got
Democratic
MacBook.
president. And the point that the
Apparatus,
president
thank
has made
you.
is that this undermines
Thank you, MacBook Apple release. We got
confidence in our
vacancies at a
judicial
hotel.
system. It undermines confidence
It
in our
undermines
justice system.
confidence.
And the reason is simply that the
And thank you for
basic
the
principle of
Marriott
justice
giving us a
system is that
call
everybody is subject to the rule of law in the same way.
at Subway. Yeah, thank you,
And-
Marriott, for the free hotel room at Subway.
If we get down to a
As
system
we get down to it,
where
states may direct
Justices-
vacancies.
judges or justices are
Judges
only
or
considered
judges. You have an electric college on its foot.
based on the political party
Yeah,
of the president who
electoral
appointed them,
college. Happy Halloween.
raises questions about the impartiality of
States
that
may
judge,
direct hotels.
and raises questions about whether people will be treated
Trivago.com.
differently in the justice system
Today's show sponsored
based on
by
their own
Trivago.
partisan affiliation.
Book hotels with us with
And
Trivago.
that would
That's
do
the
a lot of
truth.
damage to a well
To
thought
a
out,
well,
carefully considered
Well.
architecture
architecture.
that was put in place by our founding fathers.
Trivago.
So it'd be a real shame
It'd be a
if,
real shame.
Republicans followed through on the strategy that Senator Cruz,
Trivago,
Senator Lee,
find
and
your
Senator
ideal
McCain
hotel for the best price.
Just to be clear,
States may direct
you agree
vacancies.
with Reed when he says we need to treat it like a
1994.
constitutional crisis. It is.
Well, it certainly poses a significant threat to a long-standing tradition.
It's a long-standing tradition. Trivago.
In the United States.
In Chicago.
Which is ensuring
Barack's
federal judges
position
and potential justices to the Supreme Court are considered on the merits. Record.
And their record.
And their approach.
To jurisprudence. And not just
on the partisan affiliation of the president
of eBay auctions at Teletech.
Jordan. Thanks, Josh.
Somebody from Teletech likes auctions. I don't know which one it is.
Wondering how much more of the First Lady are we going to see in the final days of the campaign? Is she going to be making many more appearances?
We know exactly who it is.
Going to be it for her.
Well, I don't have additional
I don't have any information about that. eBay is a wonderful site.
On stage.
Thank you, State of the Union.
And her intent is to.
And eBay denials PayPal. Thank you, PayPal, for denying us.
She's had an opportunity to speak several times.
Because Western Union would do it just fine. Thank you, State of the Union.
Secretary Clinton's campaign. She spoke.
You've got eBay auctions and PayPal denials.
In Philadelphia.
Refunds.
In July.
And
over the course of the fall, she's had an opportunity to weigh in.
Peace Bridge Apartments.
On those aspects of the campaign that have
State of the Western Union prompted her to Thank you, American Express. We love it.
Supporting Secretary Clinton.
We love American Express.
Today
wonderful
call services. Talk about those same values. Talk about those same values that animated her over the course of the campaign, and put them in the context of a closing argument that she's looking forward to making for Secretary Clinton.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Specific scheduling.
Put on your costumes.
Give us a general sense of how much more
and your WitSec.
Well, I think first of all, I'd point out she's already done a lot, and there's not a lot of mystery about where.
Today's show is sponsored by DelayMeds.com.
How strongly she feels about the outcome.
Catholic Hospital.
I feel confident in saying that she'll find
Sisters
some
Hospital
additional ways between now and Election Day to
we need our
reinforce those views to the
medicine.
American public. Okay. All right, Stephanie.
So we're still seeing disclosure drop of WikiLeaks.
Today's show is sponsored by Counter-Strike, available at SteamPower.com. It's virtual reality, not reality.
A few weeks ago, I asked you
And
if there were
Doom.
any policy changes within the administration in terms of emails. And
Trivago, find your ideal hotel for the best price.
Positions. You said
States may direct vacancies.
common sense. Would you say John Podesta did not use common sense by clicking on this email that made him change his password and a phishing scam that emails with DNC and Call as well?
Well, listen, I'm not going to be in a situation of blaming.
I'm not going to be in a Nights Inn hotel.
As a private citizen whose personal emails were stolen.
And Marriott's not going to call
the
us at
tactics
Subway.
used to disseminate that information are consistent with the tactics that we know the Russians have used to try
we're a community.
Cast doubt.
Yeah, we're a community.
The integrity and strength of
We're in the
our
community.
democracy.
In the community.
Obviously, this is something that
Judge
is
Devlin.
a source of some concern.
Are we in the
not just
community?
the government, but I think it's a concern that's held by
We're in the community here.
American citizens in both
Thank
parties.
you, Judge Devlin. Anyway, we gotta go. We're in the community.
When it comes to the